Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome again to the channel. Thank you so much for all the happy birthday wishes. And before it got too far past it, I thought I'd just show you a few of the other things that I got. Anyhow, just a few things I got. This is an old CD that I think it had been out of print for a long time. I was just a wee little boy and I remember my uncle putting it on. And I was always interested in guitar, and I haven't played. I used to play all the time. Haven't played now in a long time. I'd be scared to pick it back up. I probably should one these days. I got guitars all over, too many of them. But these guys were both extraordinary guitarists. I mean, anybody that knows much about guitar knows Chet Atkins was a guitarist extraordinaire. That's the name of this CD, Chester and Lester Guitar Monsters. It's Chet Atkins and, of course, Les Paul. I have a Les Paul. Anybody that plays electric guitar knows Les Paul was responsible for electric guitars with the pickups, and Gibson has the famous Les Paul model. So anyhow, that is an awesome CD. It's great to hear. I think it's released in like 78, and just to hear those two train licks back and forth and kin each other, and it's just fantastic. So yeah, if you like guitar music, check out Guitar Monsters. So this, most of you probably don't know what it is. If you don't, I'll give you a hint. It was developed by Galileo Galilei back in the old days. He's one of my heroes. But he figured out that water changes density at different temperatures, and each of these little bubbles are filled with different colored fluid, different amounts, and they also have a little tag on them. And the tag has the temperature on each, on each one. So as the temperature in the room goes up, and like I said before, I'm a cheap ass. So I keep the house chilly. It's like 65 in here. That's why I'm always wearing this, but whatever. But like as it goes up, I'll have to keep this where we can see it over time, But as the temperature goes up, the bubbles, whatever you want to call them, will fall. So you look at the lowest bubble that is still there, not the one down here, but the one that is there, and that tells you the temperature of the room. Now, I mean, I could heat the water a bit with my hands. It'd take a minute, and I could show you, and the next one will fall, but it'll take a little bit of time. Now, kind of the interesting thing, I'm using my other birthday gift, the macro lens, to film this. So, putting it to good use already. But here you are, you see the cluster of all those. Then you saw me put my hands on there for about 20-30 seconds, and you'll see that ball started to descend. Now he's about halfway down, and he's starting to come back up because the water I had warmed with my hands is starting to cool. So he is going to slowly start rising. And there's a ball way on the bottom. That's because the room is hot enough to keep that one there. But see now, if I were to warm up the water some more with my hands, he's going to start going down. And it's incredibly sensitive. Is that not the coolest thing ever? Now your hand's not warming up the water that much that quickly. Out of there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks pretty nice. And it measures up to 100 degrees. And they're not that expensive. I just got it on Amazon. Now, thankfully, Amazon must have packed this one better than they did my lens. Like I say, I'm not an Amazon hater. I use them all the time. I buy way too much on there. So that's kind of a cool shot, huh? Yours truly up too close. Truly too damn close. Photography is so much fun. That's kind of a cool shot though, huh? Well, anyway, guys, enough fooling around with my new lens. You know, if you kept your hand here even longer and longer, eventually the next one, which is the red one, would start coming down. There he goes. You see him? Starting to dip. So I've warmed up the water, at least immediately where he is at, by a couple degrees by holding my hand on it. So yeah, he's going south. So yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Hey, goodness. So anyway, guys, thanks for putting up with me playing with my birthday toys, my lens, the only thing I couldn't put on was some music in the background. Anyhow, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for the birthday wishes, and we'll see you.